Ray Falkenberry, welcoming you to Lesson 6 in our Samurai Spirit series of teaching some martial art basics, mechanics, and also sharing with you a little bit of the wisdom that goes with potentially what martial art can offer. In this particular lesson, we're going to cover an additional kick. We've been really pounding the kicks in the previous lesson, so we're giving you a great opportunity to kind of understand the physics of how kicks work. Remember, every kick has that concept of chamber, execute, rechamber, and return, and we covered the front kick, the side kick, the round kick, and the hook kick. This last basic kick that we're going to kind of cover is called a crescent kick. Sometimes you'll hear it called a wheel kick. Doesn't matter what the name is, but I want you to kind of understand this kick because it adds an interesting opportunity and variety for people to develop some skills in their abilities. And then we'll talk a little bit about what a crescent may represent, or how we can take the idea of crescent kick, roundhouse kick, full round, wheel kick, and apply it into life. So let's break down a crescent kick. Folks, crescent kick is one of my all-time favorite kicks. It's an amazingly interesting kick in the sense that a crescent kick is like a big wheel, in a sense that the motion, I'm not even going to show you the real kick yet, because I just want you to get a sense of coming in a big circle. Now, the interesting thing that I've watched in teaching this to people over the years is it takes a while for people to truly get this kick, because I like to think of it as a whip kick. And what I mean by a whip kick, and I'm going to start to show you a little bit about how I teach this. I'm just doing what I call a Raggedy Ann upper body flop. There's no tension in my body whatsoever. I'm just kind of twisting. Now, if I twist this direction here, as I come back, my left leg can go out. I just want you to get a sense of the beginnings of this. Here, and as this comes back, my left leg is actually going out. So in slow motion, my upper body is turning hard while my left leg is going across my body. So in essence, we're really kind of laying sideways. Obviously, we don't go, it doesn't work. But what happens and how you want to develop this is I don't want to use muscles, or meaning I want to use as little muscles as possible. So let me do it slow, and I want you to get a sense of how this kick can work. And you'll listen, you'll notice it. So what we're getting is, as we come across here, we're letting the foot whip across. We're not focused on, that's all hip, quad, low back. You're not going to get very far with that. Where you're going to gain power is from the whipping motion. So ways you can just practice this is I'll have students just kind of stand and just totally limp. And if you just watch the end of my foot, there's a little, even here, without any effort, you're seeing a snap at the end. There's no strength in throwing that. That's just all absolutely cracking a whip. This kick is one of my favorite kicks. We'll talk about it in the next lesson because I want to talk a little bit about combinations. But this is my favorite kick in a lot of ways because every kick that we've shown you before, front kick, side kick, round kick, hook kick, a little bit different with the hook kick, but the front kick, side kick, and round kick tend to come in from an area that's right in here. Hook kick can come in different, as a crescent kick can kind of do it, but I want you to notice here where the strike zone is from way up around. So that means from the defense here, I cannot tell you how many thousand times I've had lots of fun throwing a crescent kick or a combination kick when the people are packed in tight defensively and you come up over the top and clock them. Great kick. I don't typically do that on the wall. Just so you know, no boundary on that one. That's just one where I just kind of just work it. In fact, if you want to do anything, lay on the ground and lay into a stretch where you look one way, bring your knee across, start to loosen it up. Crescent kick. Crescent kick is kind of what I'm calling a flare kick. So it's one of those kind of kicks that when done well, it looks like a lot of flash. It's real fun to do exhibition sparring with people in which we're just throwing crescent kicks, boom, 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 especially reverse ones, a lot. But I typically put that in the flare category. Folks, I want to talk about flare. I want to talk about flash. In martial art, there are certain techniques that are very flash-oriented. What I mean by that, it's real impressive. You can throw combinations that are wonderfully flashy. You can throw kick combinations that look incredibly aerial and dynamic and crazy. It's great. There's no problem with that. In real life, if I have to defend myself, folks, I may know 10,000 techniques, but I'm going to focus on about 10. That's it. Because the 10 that I use are going to be basic, solid, well-defined, well-practiced, well-rehearsed, and I can throw them automatically without thinking, and they're going to come in very quick. If I have to be functional, I want to be functional to get the job done. I'm not one to promote violence at all. I haven't had to use physical martial art in my life decades, and that's the goal of martial art for us, is the best students, the best martial artists find other ways besides activating physically. But I want to talk a bit, come back to flair. Flair is that flash. In life, folks, the evolving martial artist, the spiritual martial artist, we're not into the flash. We don't walk in our life to flash and to be this shining beacon of ego, this idea that says, hey, look at me, I'm this successful martial artist, or I'm this great accountant, or I'm this CEO of my company. That's about ego. That's about bringing attention to ourselves. It's also about externally validating ourselves. What I mean by that is we don't want to have the world tell us our value. I am not successful because if I drive a BMW or a Mercedes, that doesn't make me successful. $10 million in the bank doesn't make me successful. A big house in the hills doesn't make me successful. True martial art is about validating from the inside. Knowing that our life, who we are, is a great gift, that we can honor it, we can grow, we can evolve, we can help, we can just be blessed to acknowledge who we are. And the ongoing path helps us to try to understand if we're truly walking that path of feeling blessed in our own skin, not because we're flashy, not because of our cars, our monies, our jobs, our houses. I hope that makes sense. It's not the easiest lesson to look at, but it's something to consider. Until next time, this is Ray Falkenberg for the Samurai Spirit series, talking about the Crescent Cake. See you later.